It was around 6 months ago that I published one of my first low content books, and that went viral on Twitter, and it's made me kind of thousands of pounds to date. You might be wondering how I did this. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. We here are trying to build a self-publishing empire. So if you are like me and you're figuring out some ways to make some more money online, you know, that's why we're all here at the end of the day. So a little about me. I've been writing sci-fi for 7 or 8 years. I've published 5 books so far. You know, it's gone okay writing sci-fi. It was a passion project, and it was amazing to get my work out there, you know, for people to read, to get them into libraries even. It was absolutely fantastic. But despite all that, I wasn't really making any money. So I approached it as an author, whereas over the past sort of 6 months, I've been approaching things a little bit more as a self-publisher and moving towards niches where I think that I can make money. So it was around 6 months ago that I published one of my first low content books, and that went viral on Twitter, and it's made me kind of thousands of pounds to date. So you might be wondering how I did this, and that's why you're here, I guess. So stick with the channel, click the like, click the subscribe, and you know, stay with me as I take you through the processes of what I do with making books. Hopefully I'll give you some ideas, give you some inspiration, and yeah, and I'll take you through all of my earnings to date. I'll take you through monthly reports, and it'll be really fun to meet you all and chat to you on the channel. So here's a few of the books that I've made so far. So I have this was my very first book. It's called Watchers. There we go. It is a post-apocalyptic book, and to be honest with you, it is a little bit crazy, but it was a really fun one to write. And then I did a dystopian trilogy. Here's a couple of them. Trilogy's called The United World. The reason I did a trilogy is I discovered how hard it was to advertise a single book because the return on investment wasn't there. So within my kind of author progress, I already learned a lot about advertising on Amazon KDP, and realizing from an advertiser's point of view that you need to put in less than you get back, basically. You know, you need to be making money on your books or else at the end of the day, what's the point, right? So I moved from writing single books to writing longer form trilogies. But writing 3 books takes a long time. We're talking years here to write them, to do a second, third draft, to edit them, to do the book covers, to do everything. It took years. So whilst it was really fun, it felt like a really big grind to make money with sci-fi. So I you know, like you, if you're here, I found some self-publishing YouTube videos. There's a couple out there, one called Stacking Profits, one called Paul Miles. There's some fantastic resources out there of how to make money online via Amazon KDP. So I thought, right, let's dip my toes in. I know what to do. You know, I can write, I make the covers myself, or, you know, my wife, she makes them. She's a fantastic designer. So I can do it. I know I can. So what I did next is I wrote a bunch of notebooks. Here's an example. I tried to keep it slightly niched down into the, you know, into the writers genre. And these were basically no content. I'll show you here. There's a tiny bit of content at the top. You can see that, where you have inspirational messages. So I had like 100 inspirational messages at the top to keep people writing, which I thought, oh, that might be enough. But it wasn't. So I did some notepads. I did some composition notebooks. I think that's a place where a lot of people start. And you learn no end by doing those. But I think you have to do a ton of those to make any sort of money on Amazon KDP. You might get a sale here and there every month. Not really the way forward. So that's kind of where I started with my venture. And then I moved on to the lower content side of things. So here's a football crossword book. Took me quite a while to make. I made all the crosswords individually. So a little example, nothing kind of special inside, but I feel like I always wanted it to be, if you received it as a gift, you'd like it, because let's face it, if you get a 1-star review on Amazon, that's the book kind of tanks forever. So with me, it was always a case of, let's put the effort in to make a good product, but at the same time, you don't want to be putting too much effort in so that you're not getting a good return on investment for your time. So we did notebooks, we then kind of moved to crossword puzzles. That's then led me to these 2 Christmas books that I did recently. So a couple of Christmas activity books. So I kind of niched down in the ages on these ones. This one's for 6 to 9-year-olds, and it includes, you know, a few more complex kids puzzles like Sudokus, word searches, etc. And then this one is a bit more simplistic, Christmas activity book for kids aged 3 to 5. And I'll just show you in here a few examples. All the kind of colouring pages in here are nice and big so that young kids have fun colouring those things in. And then another example, we have things like, you know, quite simple dot to dots, tracing over, drawing so that they can draw fun Christmas things. And then most recently, I've done a joke book. This is a dinosaur joke book for kids. And this is probably the best thing that I've produced to date, really. I designed the pages up really nice using the Adobe package. And I found Creative Fabrica, which I'll talk about more in the future. And that's a fantastic place to find little illustrations like this one here, for example. You know, it's a great resource for anything designed for fonts, for illustrations, and for book covers even. So that's a little about me so far. I'm a self-published author who has kind of put that to the side for the moment. And yeah, and let's see where the self-publishing side of things goes with kids books, with activity books, with low content. That's kind of what we're focusing on. If you're doing the same thing, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And until next time, take it easy.